This one's going to be a real short demo and setup for a new wireless outdoor security camera by Annke. I'm going to try and keep this real short and to the point, show you guys how to set it up and how well it performs. I received this new security camera from Annke, so let's officially open it and take a look at what's in the box and see if we can set this up. This is a 3 megapixel camera, and on the top there's a barcode that you use to pair it to your network or join the app. I'm just going to remove that right now. Now this camera can also be operated if you have a network video recorder. So if you've got an NVR, you can add it to your existing system. We'll pull an IP address and you can connect it. I'm not going to be connecting this to a network video recorder just because I don't have one set up at the moment. So to use the camera as a standalone camera with the app, you download the Annke Site app either in your Apple Store or Google Play, and I have to register the app and create an account, which I always do using my throwaway email address. So let me get the app downloaded and then we'll power up the camera and connect it. And it says that the camera supports the 2.4 gigahertz band, not the 5 gigahertz band, which a lot of them do, which is good because the 5 gigahertz band does not have the same range as far as distance goes than 2.4, and cameras that automatically will pick the 5 gigahertz band typically will have connection problems when they're outside the premise because the 5 gigahertz signal is considerably weaker outside than it is inside. So generally you want cameras to be on 2.4 anyway, just for reliability. So here's the app, Annke Site here, I think, for the camera. Yes, so let's download the app. We'll install it and register it. So the process to register is to launch the app, and I did not give it any permissions to access any devices, any photos, or any contacts or anything. You can deny all of that. And then it presented me with the registration page, which I just used my throwaway but valid email address. I have multiple email addresses that I use for this type of stuff. Created a new account, and then it sends you a verification code to that email address. So it doesn't need your phone number. It doesn't send a verification code to your phone. It sends it to the device. You put in that verification code and then you create a password, and now it's ready to add a new device. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to plug the camera in. I'm going to attach the 2 antennas first of all, and they're even marked left and right. It also has an Ethernet plug, by the way, for those that don't want to use Wi-Fi. You can do it with Ethernet as well. Plug it right into the router. If you had a network video recorder that had Ethernet outputs, you could plug it in directly to that as well. So I'm going to let the camera start up and see what type of response I get from the camera as it's booting up. Does it give me a voice response? This camera looks kind of cool. Just the lens of it. It's not your conventional round lens, and it would have probably infrared emitters around here, around the side of the lens here. Let's see if it does. Let's turn on night shot. Does it have infrared emitters? I'm guessing that there's infrared emitters in here. I see a couple of them right there. You can see them. You can see the emitters. In night shot mode, it can see through this black glass that the eyes can't see through. Like, I see nothing when I look at it, but you can see it there.
Configuration mode.
So it says start configuration mode. So I'm going to hit add a new device. Add a new device, and it's probably going to standalone camera, most are configured, or kit configure all packages. So if you've got multiple ones, so we have a standalone camera here. It says emits start configuration mode. If not, please hold the device reset button. So it's done that, and oh, I'm going to have to take a picture because I have to actually take a picture of the, I think, of the barcode. only when using this. Okay, here we go. So yeah, I'm going to have to scan the barcode, which is normally printed on top, which I've taken away and I've stuck it somewhere else. So let me just scan that barcode. And I've scanned the barcode. I'm holding my thumb over the ID number. We'll add, and now it's going to ask me to choose my Wi-Fi network and then enter the initial password as 111111, but we're going to change that right now. But let me just connect it first. When you connect it, you just go to your Wi-Fi settings. The camera goes into access point mode. So once you find the camera, you click on that camera and enter that initial password. Now I've connected to the camera itself. I can go back to my own, or go back to the app, I should say. I don't know why they had me scan the barcode, because it's not really necessary to do it this way. Go back to the app, and it asked me to select the Wi-Fi network that I'm going to use. So I'm going to click on select Wi-Fi and pick a Wi-Fi network that is on 2.4 gigahertz. It's kind of neat. It shows me all the 2.4 gigahertz networks that are connected, and I'm going to connect it to that one and enter the password for that. Connect the device.
Wireless settings, please wait.
Now it's switching the camera because
The wireless connection is successful.
There we go. I've now connected it to my wireless network, and it's configuring. It's 46% configured. So once I've connected it and given it a name, I'm going to enter a new password. That's the password that replaces the default one, which was 111111. There was like 8 ones. I'm going to create a new password. That's to keep anybody else from being able to access the device. I've now changed the password, and it's asking me if I want to have cloud recordings. No, I don't want cloud, so we'll just get out of this. Of course, all these companies, this is how they make money, right? They make money by selling you cloud recording. Okay, now I've got the camera open, and here's the picture that is produced. And if I tap on here, it'll go full screen. So there's live video. Now this camera can also take an SD card to record on internal. You can record internally. You don't have to have cloud, but of course they want to try to sell you cloud. That's where they make the money. You can also take pictures, record video to your phone. For example, if you tap on there, it's going to record to the phone. That'll turn on the microphone. And if you enable the microphone on your settings, then you can talk back to the person that's at the camera on your phone. There's options where you can enable two-way audio so that you can talk to whoever you're watching on camera. The way the bracket is designed, it's got 3 adjustments, so you can adjust the rotation on the base. You can also adjust the rotation of the camera itself, and of course the up-down angle. For local storage, using an SD card, the SD card is inserted in the bottom right through here. And it has silica gel inside to keep any moisture from condensation, because this body is metal, so any condensation that forms inside should be removed by the silica gel that's, as you can see, stuck inside the camera itself. Here's something interesting. That antenna, the right antenna, actually has no cable connected to it. It's not doing anything, so it can be eliminated. I would imagine that is probably for the LTE version. If you look on the other side, you can see the cable for the Wi-Fi antenna. You see, connected right into the middle of the connector here. coming out of the silicone sealant. But on the other side, this one has no cable connected whatsoever. So this antenna is just for show and can be eliminated. As I say, this one's probably for LTE, because there is an LTE version of this camera available. It would have a separate antenna for the LTE band, and for whatever reasons they just put the connector on both of them and ship the antenna in the box for even the versions that don't have it. Okay, I just popped the new SD card in. I'm just formatting it now. I'll do the device storage. It's a 16 gig card. I'm going to take this camera and I'm going to mount it in my backyard, and we'll evaluate this one for a while. I just took another one that was in the place where this one's going to go. I just took that one down, and once this one's formatted, I'm going to put this one in place, and that way I can evaluate this camera over a period of time, and we'll see how this one performs compared to some of the other ones. So there we go. Card is formatting, it's normal, and it's ready to go. So if I go into let me close up the hatch first of all. So I'm going to go mount the camera, and we'll try it out and see how it works. Okay, I've mounted the camera in my backyard. There's the picture. I just kind of stuck it up quickly. If we want to go into the settings to set it up, smart detection, time recording, management, device storage, time setting, and so forth. Time setting, GMT -8, I think that's right. If we go to smart detection, you can have a humanoid detection alarm. That way, if it detects a person, it will actually send a push notification to the phone. Motion detection area, so we can go to motion detection area, and this gives me a grid as to where I want it to monitor. So if I tap on here and clear all the current motion detection. Okay, so now if I want to have the camera respond to anybody moving in the areas where there would be of interest, I just turn those areas pink. Draw a box around it, I think is all I do. There we go, you see. Now, if it detects any motion in any of these areas here, it's going to record. It's going to ignore motion in these other areas that are of less importance, such as trees blowing, for example. I'm really only interested in if someone is moving around by my garage, so I would just pick the area that I want, and whoops, I just turned it off. Let's try that again. Pick the area that I wish to add. Push notification, if I want to be notified when it detects something, I can turn it on or off. I get too many push notifications now, so I'm going to turn it off, just because I get tired of all of the push notifications. Alarm prompt tone, what is that? Choose a prompt tone. I'm curious as to what it is. Customize, default, record a prompt tone. You can record your own voice. Say, hey, get the hell out of my backyard. Press and hold the microphone to record a prompt tone. That's to sound an alert when it detects that there is any activity. I'm not going to bother with that. I'll turn that off. The camera that this replaced actually would play the sound of a barking dog if it detected any motion. And with those trees blowing, this is probably going to be recording this as well, the shadow. If I go back into playback, you'll see that here's some time here that's been recorded already. And if I tap on the plus minus, I can expand that timeline. So now I can go and pick a recording. I don't think there's anything recorded here, is there? Oh, there is. I really expanded it. We'll bring this down a bit, dial this back a bit. So if I go back to here. This is probably when I was still in the shop. Oh, that was before. This is probably when I was still had it in the shop here. Yeah, that was when I was working here. I get a signal that my signal is weak because the router's in the middle of the house and the camera is like over 100 feet away, and it's still linking on 2.4. The router is, to say, about as far away as it could be. There's a recording that was made when I was playing with the camera inside here before I took it outside. I'm going to power it down, and then the next shot will be when it was powered up outside. There's where I'm going out to adjust the camera. So we want to see how the nighttime picture is. This is the camera at night. This is recorded last night at just after midnight. If I scroll ahead till say 1:30 in the morning, after everybody's gone to bed, you can see a couple lights here. These lights that you see are actually other cameras that are facing the other way. So you can see the infrared lights from them. But all the lighting in here, this is from the internal lights, and this light up here, this is from the internal light. So anybody that would be in my backyard at night will be photographed. And if there's any events, they will show up. Looks like there was an event here at this morning. Let's just see what the event was. And if I can expand on that too. It'll be light by this time, I'm sure, because it's 8 o'clock in the morning. But, oh yes, I guess something triggered it. Maybe some leaves rustling around or something. If I expand the view, all these red marks here, these are events that have been triggered. But one nice thing I've found with this camera so far, which I really like, is the fact that it does record constantly. It records day and night, 24 hours a day, but it does tag any events so you can review them. But you can also just review anytime you want. So if there has been no event triggered, it's still recording. Here's last night's recording. It was in color mode. Something must have put it in color mode. It hadn't switched over, or there was enough light. Okay, something made it switch to color mode. It might do that when it detects motion. Something switched over to color mode. Anyway, that's about all I can show you on this one. It's looks to be a pretty neat little security camera. Link is in the description. Say I like it so far. I'm going to run this one on a long-term test, but this one here appears to do the job just quite nicely. It records well in the dark, and it also records events as well as constant recording. So when it's not detecting any motion, it actually goes to a lower bit rate that it records to conserve space on the memory card. All these files, of course, can be downloaded to your phone. All you need to do is hit the record button. So if you see something that you want to keep, you just hit the movie button here, and that will make a copy of it to your phone, which you can then, of course, share or do whatever you want. So you don't actually have to remove the card from the camera. Now, obviously, if you don't have an internet connection and you're just recording it just on the memory card, you can retrieve the card. But the preferred way, of course, is just to use the app to download any of the clips that you want. Anyway, thanks for watching. Link is in the description. We'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now.